The nation's unemployment rate crept up again to 6.1% last month, leaving the 1971 with an average of 5 million persons out of work in the worst jobs rate in 10 years in Washington. As Democrats said things are getting no better, the administration promised better in their times ahead. That December figures released Friday showing that a further slowing in what had been a rapid climb in the total number of job holders, while the number of persons looking for work significantly increased. In Washington, Louis F. Powell Jr. and William H. Rehnquist joined the Supreme Court Friday, bringing it up to the full strength for the first time since last summer. Chief Justice Warren E. Berger administered the office before a court went packed with relatives, friends, and officials, and new justices then took their seats at the freshman ends of the bench. Powell, an ex-president of the American Bar Association, and Rehnquist, a former Justice Department official, succeeded late Justice Hugo LaBelle and John M. Harlan. Okay, travel weather forecast there. Right now at 6 p.m. reports on this January 8th, 1972, we got a temperature of 19 degrees at Hartford, 19 out in Brantley, 19 in New Haven, and in Groton, 29 out in New York City, 22 in Poughkeepsie, and in Scranton, Pennsylvania, 10 above in Albany, 10 above in Utica, New York, 12 above in Springfield, 16 out in Worcester, 24 out in Boston, 20 in Providence, 24 in Nantucket, and 10 above in Concord, New Hampshire. Here. Fireplace, a 2,200 bottle wine set. Weather forecast. Around the nation, most of the same weather was a real fat and trying northeast today. Most precipitation was reported over the Pacific Northwest with rain over the coastal areas and snow in the mountain areas. A brisk air current sweeping up from the Gulf states and then are spreading inland off the Pacific Ocean contributed mild and dry weather. $10 million. Over the remainder of the country, soft. Forecast will go like this for tonight. Clear skies with a 0% chance of precipitation high. Low tonight, 15-20 degrees. Tomorrow, clouds increasing. 0 to 10% chance of precipitation with a form of light rain, drizzle, a light snow flurry. High be about the 30s for tomorrow night. Clouds, 0 to 10% chance of precipitation, low around 30 degrees. Sunrise tomorrow morning about 7:18 a.m. and high water tide about 7 p.m. The moon at last quarter today rises tomorrow at 1:01 a.m. and the moon is apogee at 251 300 miles from the Earth tonight. The stars speaking and staying near the moon tonight at 220 light years from the Earth. Okay, that's gonna be it for all the weather. The Travels Weather Forecast here now. Arnold Dean with the sports. Take it away, Arnold. Thank you, Vader. Right now, our current right now. New Orleans, Louisiana heavyweight champion Joe Frazier said after his 45-minute workout Friday that he thinks he will be able to knock out Terry Daniels. I'm not saying when, somewhere between the 1st and the 15th, Frazier said they met in a title fight here, January 15th. Frazier said he was stailing in his workout and may have been too soon sparring at 7,500 pounds, too many at this point. But his sparring partner Ray Anderson is great. I sparred with Frazier for 5 years and I don't think he's beat too soon. I know when he's ready and I can tell better when he can. Senator Anderson looking beyond this bout. Frazier said that he doesn't think there was any formidable competition on the horizon. Asked about a rematch with Muhammad Ali. Frazier well, if he acts like a man, not like a boy, he's gonna round the world cut like a fool. Frazier worked 8 rounds, but cut out punching on the heavy and light bats. Daniels workout lasted about 75 minutes, divided his time in the ring. Spawned 4 rounds with Sonny Moore, and then went to the heavy bag and some I remember Ed telling me, I'm skipping, dancing with the ropes. Daniels occasionally sing a sweaty tune of self-encouragement. I'm going to be the next champ. Daniels said he figures out that I will end up never moving back. He must give himself 2 choices in strategy he can take. Respect for me and have taste the liver and then get knocked out. Daniels explained I will be moving out toward 2 months, but I will stand my ground. Morris said that he thinks that the challenger has a good chance to win as than any the other men who have met Frazier. Daniels first have let Frazier know that he can punch anyone he does, and then he can use his speed and stay away from him as he much he does. And he cannot ask him more said. Mainly Terry has to say the ropes he added. It will be another cold night tonight, but not quite as cold. New Orleans retired astronaut Richard Gordon admitted in a news conference Friday that shortly after being named the executive vice president of the New Orleans Saints football team, that he didn't know much about football and didn't know how to go to the moon either. But before I became an astronaut either, but he added, but I learned how. Gordon emerged from the top hand in the reorganization plan announced by the Saints owner John Meckham Jr. in the wake of the firing of general manager Vic Schwack in a few weeks ago. In my opinion, it can honestly come to be said that the Saints have finally come to age within the front office. So Meckham, we now have a team that are working in a cohesive manner to accomplish what should be expected in first-class operation. Under the new plan, Harry Holmes, former assistant general manager and director of the public relations, moves up to the title of vice president in charge of administration, and Larry Liddell, formerly Holmes public relations assistant, assumes that the title of director of the public relations I'm going to have to rely on Harry a lot more than in the past. said make him not only in the education and dick but in the reign in this organization. Although Holmes will assume a large role in this organization, make him says that the responsibility of falls on Dick's shoulders. There will be no general manager under the new setup.
Saturday night, it does look like rain will approach from the south and from the west, so we'll see how it all pans out. I do feel temperatures might be...
Minneapolis St. Paul. When Alan Page was named Thursday in the NFL's outstanding defensive player, a writer covering the Minnesota Vikings and a TV personality raised two interesting questions. What's left for Alan Page? Can win now? The personality said in the Associated Press named for his best defensive player for the 71 season. What's next? Said the writer, commissioner in NFL perhaps. But there was more. He was named Friday as the NFL's most valuable player by the Associated Press, but still the 6'4", 245-pound tackle feels he has something to accomplish. After 5 NFL seasons, Page has yet to make a TV commercial. I feel disappointed, but I wouldn't say slighted, said Page. I guess ideologically endorsements and such are the best things that can come to these awards, but has helped me. Page did not admit, I suppose, part of it becomes I'm a black, and also because of the Minnesota market, a combination of both, said Page, the 26-year-old native of Kentucky, Howard, and a former Notre Dame defensive end. Page won the MVP award with 16 votes for the pedal of 60 sports writers at the broadcasters of league cities. Quarterback Roger Staubach of Dallas and wide receiver Taylor of Kansas City each received 10 votes. Miami quarterback Bob Greasy received 9, and Washington quarterback Bill Kimmel 4 votes. Page won its powerful West Atlanta. Vikings defense that allowed the fewest points in the NFL for the first straight season. He was directly responsible for 3 safeties, 1 in the total tackles, and 10 quarterback sacks.
33-43. Won 20 or more games in 5.
In Philadelphia, former members of the St. Louis Blues hockey team have 2 dates in Philadelphia next month when to play in the Philadelphia Flyers in the National Hockey League. And
the phone finally rang at 1:50.
in Everett Police Court, the 4 Blues coach Al Auburn and Phil Roberto and Floyd Thompson and John Albert, NHL players, were released in $500 bail after each Friday after a scrap among fans, players, and police during Thursday night's Blues Flyers game at the Spectrum. The mailing was triggered when a fan allegedly spilled beer on St. Louis coach Albert before the fight ended. Both Al Albert and John Albert, in no relation to Al, needed sensitive head wounds. The 2 Alberts, Thompson and Roberto, were charged with disorderly conduct and assault and battery policemen. Thompson was charged with aggravated assault and battery. They were to appear to a hearing February 7th, the day after the Blues played the Flyers again in Philadelphia. The fight broke out in the end of the second period with the Flyers leading 2-0, and the Flyers had on a gun in the dressing room and reportedly knew nothing about the blood and linen on the ring and the stands. Coach Arbor walked under the ice at the end of the period to argue with Referee John Ashley about a decision he followed. Ashley in the tunnel that leads to the official dressing room. That's when Arbor said a fan put a can of beer on him. St. Louis players reportedly charged in the tunnel and defenseman Barclay Plager leaped on the railing into the stands after the beer pour.
With this week's Patriots game on Saturday night rather than normal Sunday, all the Patriots preparations this week have been stepped up a day.
Police rushed to the area and attempted to push the Blues back in the ass. Detective Lieutenant Matthew Vasey said the players were told to return to the after being arrested. He quoted Coach Arbor as replying, "You're not gonna lock me up," and contended Arbor pushed the police sergeant into the stands. Philadelphia, U.S. hopes for gold medal in the Olympic Games 1500-meter run at Munich this summer could hang on a decision and to be made tonight. Doctor's office here next week. Monday, Luke Corey, America's premier miler, will be at Evans-Ailing. Left heel examined. The heel hasn't responded to recent treatments. Luke Corey may have to undergo a minor operation. The 22-year-old Luke Corey described the tennis injury as a similar to tennis elbow that involves a scar tissue over the bone at the base of the heel, which keeps turning every time he runs. Luke Corey said he suffered an injury last October 12th in the cross-country when he tried ice heat whirlpool but never seemed. Turkey said it had got worse. A few weeks ago, said Luke Corey asked our doctor at Temple who gave me a diagnosis of the injury, give me a few shots. He feels the treatment will eliminate the necessary operation. Luke Corey explained in the while the new operation and the minor finger will take 3 months for the healing and it'll take 3 months. Would seriously impair getting ready for the Olympic trials in June. Luke Corey earned the title of the world's #1 miler last year, winning all 9 of his races, including the one over the world record holder Jim Ryan of 3:54.6 at Philadelphia. Luke Corey walked out Friday in Villanova and said he felt no pain in the heel. It doesn't hurt today, but the injury is sneaky. Luke Corey said, "I'll run in and it won't hurt, so I think it's gone. Then I'll try it on the track and it flares up again."
We'll be back in just a minute.
Hollywood, appalled by the National Collegiate Athletic Association disclosed sweeping sentiment Friday that the reorganization of the 3 of the more divisions under one constitution, but that's separate by laws for each group. The delegates will vote Saturday on whether they call a special convention before July 1st to consider a organization and reorganization a controversial package of financial aid limitations of both. Last fall, the NCAA Committee on Legislative Reappointment and sent a questionnaire to faculty representatives and athletic directors and officials online. Conference officers, there were 758 responses, 302 from the major school university division, 427 from the college division, and 29 from conference commissioners. The answers showed that the 570 favored 3 divisions based on the President University College Division 1 and College Division 2 structure. 8 thereof currently is one overall by set by laws with 29 willing to be declared by their institutions. University Division 1, 72 College 1, 250 College 2, and 66 favoring some other grouping. In addition, the women 602 or 79.8% supported a so-called bare bones plan of reorganization according to David Swank, professor of law at the University of Oklahoma. Chairman of the Legislature Reorganization Committee that the plan would feature the standards of the amateur student participation in social contract and academic standards and
It's just beautiful. We learned how bodies intertwine.
probably some about financial aid and organization more compatible concerning education philosophies, enrollment in athletic programs, etc. A single constitution for all members, but separate bylaws for each division to prevent the complaint and so and so 7 down on first we didn't want it. Strengthening the agency appearance to be bold and the call of financial aid before the hours of regulation. But a separate division, the needed choice would be one in the self-determination of each institution as far as an NCAA championships events are concerned. Having University Division 1 team could play a lower-class regular season schedule, but would have to play for any national title with its declared division. The NCAA currently has self-determination University Division College 1, College 2 for all sports except football, basketball, and baseball, national collegiate sports services, and armor. The NCAA ranks teams in the sport. Chicago, I've talked to them and said Chuck Tanner, manager of the Chicago White Sox. I've talked to him about 6 times and I told him that this is the last stop. Getting to talk to Rich Allen isn't easy. Will Heyman, director of the player personnel who endured the deal for and my shipping Southpaw pitcher Tommy John, the Los Angeles Dodgers hasn't been able to reach out. I tried when he made the trade. He said, "Hang on," but I haven't pursued a matter. I left it to Tanner. Dallas, Dwayne Thomas, Dallas Cowboys went back reported at the practice field Friday morning after a day's absence. There sparked rumors that he would refuse to play in the Super Bowl game. Thomas met with Cowboy coach Tom Landry for 40 minutes in a coach's locker room running back. Along with the Landry's aide, said he indicated to me that he would consider working and would be in the game. Thomas wailed out for the 8 weeks before remained in his Cowboys last fall, remained his usual silent self. Landry said that Thomas had not offered any explanation other than personal reasons for missing Thursday's practice session. The coach said he would be fined by the same as any other player. We have a regular schedule of fines, but to cover it. Said Landry and Thomas' mysterious disappearance prompted Cowboy executives to try to contact him by phone in the early morning hours on Thursday. They would unable to do so at the session with Landry. Thomas merely had said that he had no comment about the rumor that he would not play against Miami on January 16th. He just wouldn't talk about it. Landry said, "Football really isn't that important in his life, and I guess he told me my job is football and I will do my job. He just doesn't think anything else than doing that. He didn't especially say I will play in Super Bowl, but we'll have to assume that he will be because he's here." And that is going to be it for the 6 o'clock report on WTSC TV Channel 3, Hartford, Connecticut on the Saturday, January 8th, 1972. I'm Peter Williams outside Arnold Danes, and we have a good evening, and coming in next will be CBS Saturday News with Brentman. We'll see you at 11 o'clock. Have a good evening.